Well, Styx has been found guilty, and I guess we're going to watch his side of the story here. This is interesting to me for sure. I have some kind of criticisms, but at the same time, you know, to each their own. This is very, very interesting. I don't think he should have been found guilty, in my opinion. But this raises more questions than there are answers, I think. It's, wow, what a silly situation. But anyway, I'm a big Styx fan. Obviously, I like the metals. I like the black metals. He likes Varg. You know, I don't really like Varg as a person, per se, but I like the music. I like Mayhem, you know, some old school stuff. I'm wearing a Tallest shirt right now. You know, all that good stuff. Big Winter Sun fan. Big Aether Realm fan, you know. So I see eye to eye with a lot of things that Styx sees eye to eye with. Apparently a lot of things I don't. So anyway, guys, just before I start this, live stream every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. is the typical time. Tomorrow I'm going to try and get on as early as possible, probably closer to 3 p.m., because I'm going to react to the H3H3 content nuke there. That's going to be crazy to watch. I think it's going to be funny. I think it'll be a good time. So join me in the live stream, guys. Hopefully I can get a lot of people there. Tomorrow, 3 p.m., if possible. Hopefully the wife gets off work at about that time, and hopefully my job will not keep me, because I shouldn't have to go back. Oh, man, my schedule's so messed up, guys. I got to wake up at 5 in the morning. I got to do a lot, and then hopefully I can get back before my wife has to go to work. And if I get it all done before then I don't have to go back later in the day. It's a wild, wild mess of what I'm doing right now. So, guys, it'll help me out a lot if you all join the live streams. Believe me, it will. Anyway, guys, let's get into this.
All right, everyone, getting out in front of it. Yes, I was found guilty of battery just earlier in the New Orleans Parish Courthouse. And I disagree with some of the evidence that was allowed at trial. Let's just put it that way. Thankfully, now that the case is over, I'm allowed to actually explain my side of the story before somebody else is allowed to explain theirs. I'm sure that there will be 1,000 rumors swirling, and the people that don't like me, they'll be talking all sorts of shit about me. First and foremost, this does not involve my wife. It does not involve beating anyone. I did not punch anyone. I did not draw a gun on anyone. I did not hit anyone with a baseball bat or any of these things. What happened is this.
See, that's kind of wild, right? So he didn't do anything along those lines. So how in the world could you find somebody guilty of battery? Battery is a very intentional thing. You have to actually physically cause harm to someone, and it can't be an accident. It cannot be an accident for that. Otherwise, people who got into car accidents and stuff would be charged with battery.
Yes. I was inebriated in a hotel room with my ex-girlfriend, and we got into a bit of a squabble.
Now, I'm pretty sure he means ex-girlfriend as in, like, became his ex-girlfriend after this night. I had no idea that Styx had a wife and a girlfriend. And that when you have a wife and a kid in another country and then you're back here in the United States with another woman, that's... Oof. Look, again, to each their own. I'm not judging him for it. But what I am going to say for sure is this is gonna turn out like... this can't possibly turn out any better than Elon with his multiple wives, girlfriends, whatever you want to call them, and kids. I don't think this puts kids in a good situation, in my opinion.
Because she was texting with another dude, and I believed that she was cheating on me, or at least, at least digitally.
Again, any woman... Now, here's a fact. Just, look, if you're going to engage in polyamory or anything like that, you're not going to find people who are going to be faithful. If you can't be faithful to one person, they're not going to be faithful to you either. There's just no way. That's like, it happened. I mean, don't get me wrong, it happens. Maybe Styx wants to have himself a harem or something like that. I don't know. I really genuinely don't know. So speculating isn't going to be easy. But what I can say is typically it's just proven these are not going to work out that well. Some people do. Some people get lucky enough, I guess. I don't know. Lucky enough in the sense of things working out, not lucky enough in the sense of having multiple women and doing. I could not imagine doing that. Actually, I never. No, no, I don't have time to deal with multiple women. I can tell you that.
And she handed the phone to me, and what I saw was, questionable in nature. I later found out this is ex post facto, so it's not evidence pertinent to this case. I later found out she did send him nudes. I'm not going to name
Classy
her,
for
by
her,
the way, because that's not necessary or proper or potentially even legal. Anyway, I tossed the phone back onto the bed, but because I was inebriated, it accidentally hit her in the side. Now, I've been found...
Well, in the side of what, though? That can... This can be interesting. Did it hit her in the side of the head and give her a concussion? Did it give her a black eye? Did it knock a tooth out? Did it bust her mouth open? You know what I mean? Like, I'm guessing in the side, so it's got to be in the side for sure. Could be any body part. In the side, it's so much harder to... That's a difficult one. If it was directly in the front of the face, that, then that could be a lot harder to argue. A lot harder to argue. In the side, it just depends. I don't know the damage. I genuinely don't know the damage there.
Guilty of battery. Under Louisiana statute, you should be able to show intent in order for that charge to stick.
Agreed.
Of course, unfortunately, I was found guilty anyway, probably because I have a penis, honestly. I did not intend to harm my ex. I did not materially threaten her, despite the fact that I had a Glock 17 on my fucking hip.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, if you're open carrying and whatnot, or even concealed, and it's like, look, I've got this on me. I didn't pull this. Nothing like this happened. I mean, in all honesty, especially since they don't have contact, they're not going to do anything anymore. They're not going to speak anymore, anything like that. This isn't some crazy domestic situation. I don't know why the police, I don't know why the court system's wasted their time with this, to be honest. Even if the phone throw was intentional, I think just simply getting arrested for that night is punishment enough. You know what I mean? And then separate and make it to where they don't talk again ever. Now, if a history starts developing, you know what I mean? And actual abuse starts coming forward, that's one thing. But it's so hard to prove whether this is an accident or not. Now, if later we were to find out, hey, this girl's nose was broken. She had a black eye. Mouth was busted open. I don't know that I would be able to take Styx's word there for it at all. I don't know that I could. I don't know that, I'd be like, dude, look, maybe you didn't intend to hurt her, but you were upset, you were messed up, and you did hurt her in a bad way. That would be a situation where it's like, I'm sorry, man, I'm going to have to side with the courts on that one. You know what I mean? Because that shouldn't happen. That should never happen. Again, because of the lack of information here as to what actually took place, what kind of damage happened and whatnot, it's one of those things to where it's like, if I take Styx's word for it on every single thing here, then he's absolutely correct, of course. But not to mention, even the way that he's describing it now even puts it in his favor in general. It's a tough situation.
That never happened. I did not beat anyone. I did not brandish a weapon. I did not do anything like that. So I'm just getting out ahead and saying, I am not a violent individual. I am not an insane individual. Well, I may be insane, but not, in the criminal
Yeah, I was going to
sense.
say, you're wearing a freaking...
So
I'm not an insane individual. Proceeds to arg his way to the video. What? That's funny. Seeing him in a pirate outfit, I'm not insane. That's pretty good. That's pretty funny, actually. Good timing on that one. No, for real, though, for real. Like, honestly, in this situation, look, they got heated. It was a very, very understandable situation when you find out someone's cheating on you. You're going to react pretty heavily. I get that. It comes down to intent. It really does. Because, again, if she's got no damage, especially if it's like, oh, no, the phone hit her, like, right in the side of the what the love flaps there, love handles. There you go. You know, even if there was a bruise there, it's like it came from the phone. Clearly, that would show there was no intent on harm. You know what I mean? It just, like I said, it depends on what the side actually is. If the side is anywhere lower than the face, I'm not gonna care. Especially if it's on the side of the body and it was the phone, I don't care. Because that's super clear you didn't intend to hit someone. You weren't aiming for a part that was gonna hurt. You weren't probably aiming at all. I totally get it. You know what I mean? Personally, if it were me and I found out, though, and I saw, and this is without thinking, because I'm not polyamorous at all. I don't do that. I don't talk to other women. So if I find out my wife was actually cheating or something like that, like, I probably would have just, the way I would have exploded, I would have slammed the phone on the ground and stomped it. That's the extent of my anger. I probably would have just taken it out on the object itself. You know what I mean? Something like that. That's probably would have been the better idea, and I bet, well, yeah, I don't say that's a better idea, because then you obviously you'd have to pay for a new phone. That sucks. But in general, you know what I mean? Like, there were probably better situations in this sense. But, again, if everything he's saying here is absolutely rock solid, this is ridiculous. Louisiana, what are you doing?
Fourth. So I just wanted to make that clear before all of the rumors begin circulating. Yeah, which I'm sure that they will. Oh, Keno Casino's gonna have a fucking field day with this once they
do
read
they
OPSEC.
I don't care about Andy anymore.
You know, it's all good.
Like,
so just to
God
be clear
knows what they're gonna say about it.
Actual facts of the case, I should not have been found guilty under Louisiana state statute, but I chose not to testify, and I believe that was probably a bad decision, because I could have explained all this before the court in literally less than 4 minutes.
Where was your lawyer involved with this? I'm not sure what happened there. Did your lawyer just suck? How could the lawyer not have explained this perfectly? It seems like such an easy cut and dry case. I don't know why that would have went down the way it did. That's very strange to me. So, I don't know. Again, lack of details. Not sure what exactly happened there in that situation.
Whoops. Oh, well, it doesn't really matter. Since my sentencing is via Zoom call, I'm assuming I'm probably getting probation. Anyways, I wish the alleged victim well. You know, do your own thing. Leave me alone, basically. That's basically all I can say. And dudes out there, please, be careful about who you date. Just saying. That's about all.
Oh, agreed for sure. Agreed for sure.
Peace out.
Yep. Anyway, so, God, every time he says peace out, I don't know why. I don't know why I would do that. I always, ever since I was working at Google, like back in like 2014, I would just be like, penis trout, for some reason. Don't know why. It still pops into my head every single time he says peace out. Yeah, very strange. Very, very, very strange there. Anyway, yeah, as for all this, if he's getting sentenced via Zoom call, I doubt it's even probation. That would be silly. In general, probably just a fine. Probably going to be just a fine and a no contact order. And as long as he never has any other contact, and, you know, they ought to make it a deferred sentence. Probably give him a deferred sentence for about a year. You know, hey, if you don't have any type of violent encounters or anything like that for the next year, the sentence gets wiped away. That really should be how they do it, because I'm sure this is his first. Is this his very first offense ever? I don't know if he has any other records, anything else. So it's one of those things to where we will figure this out as time goes on, apparently. Watch them make something crazy happen over the Zoom call, though. You just never know. Louisiana could just lose their ever-loving mind and be like, you're going to spend like 12 months in jail. And, you know, that would be crazy. Absolutely crazy. So we'll see what happens. Thank you all for watching. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.